There's a fantastic shot when they're on the beach looking back at the hotel that they're going to rob, like Ocean's 11. And like all the guys are like standing, like just like so like
just there in a lot. Yeah, with their chest puffed out.
Yeah.
There's a security, and like in real life, there's someone in security going, what the f are these guys doing?
Yeah, why are these guys looking
at us? Are they gonna rob us?
Like,
hey, I think they're gonna rob us. Hey, Dan, we gotta stand up. Look at these guys.
The way Ali stands makes me laugh.
Yeah,
he's like flexing so hard. It was so that was funny.
These guys are scheming.
This is hilarious.
We gotta do something. Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Hello, namaste, everybody, and welcome, Indian audience, to another Indian movie review. What? Is that weird?
No, that was a good intro. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
We haven't used namaste, and that's like the hello in at least Hindi. And this is appropriate because it's a Hindi film. That being said, we haven't done a good enough job, like, you know, really making it for the Indian audience that way. Like, we need to learn more of the Hindi language. What do you think?
Learn more of the Hindi language?
And like you actually use it, like I just did.
Considering we know zero of it?
Yes, well, there you go, namaste.
I mean, except for like some titles that we can't get right. And names that we can't get right. Yeah, we should probably learn.
It'll definitely help you, obviously, but maybe people don't want that.
Why are you saying me?
Well, because I think I'm not saying it. I'm jumping on with the audience, and the fact that they just love the way you just mispronounce everything. It's amazing, right?
Yeah, do they love it? Do they love it?
Look, you tell us. I think it's freaking awesome, and I think they seem to like it. Yes. Speaking of mispronunciations, Abhishek, my bad
Abhishek,
dog.
What's up, bro? The guy we've been talking about for weeks. His name is not Abishi. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought it's phonetically pronounced?
And of course, it's so much cooler than the way our stupid, dumbass Western way is been pronouncing Abishi.
We are so dumb. On behalf of all Americans, we apologize.
We do,
because we're just not good at it.
Yeah,
and anything.
But you know, we're learning. That's what it's all about. No hostility. It's just got a lot to learn, and it's fun. It's been fun. But Abhishek, my man, thank you for helping us out there. Anyways, guys, today it's an exciting day because we are finally covering an action thriller franchise that is probably the biggest one, arguably, in all of Hindi cinema.
Thriller?
Oh wow, we're gonna get into it. That's what it says on freaking Wiki. Okay, let's just keep it at action. Let's keep it at action. Whatever.
Let's go action.
However
comedy,
you wanted to do it. Let's not go into it too hard yet.
Okay, let's go. Keep going.
But it is, it is known to be one of India's biggest action franchises, and of course that is Dhoom. I had to do it because it's in every movie, right? It's like thing.
It is,
but it is the Dhoom franchise, which is, you know, known to be sort of like, I guess I would say, the sort of pseudo Fast and Furious action franchise of India. It first started in 2004. We're going to cover all three. We've watched all three.
Yes, in 3 different episodes.
3 different episodes. This is the first one. Part 1, we're going to cover each movie in its own episode. This one's for the original. So, yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Really quickly before we get into our review, a little backstory on this film. It was directed by Sanjay Gadvi. I hope I said that correctly. It was all the way back in 2004, bro. Do you even remember a time in your life in 2004? My God, what were we, 14?
14, bro.
Starting high school. When did this come out? August 27th. Literally when we were starting high school. I was just, my balls were dropping for the first time.
2004. That's a big year for us.
What's
talking about balls dropping? That's weird.
Is that Spider-Man 2?
That is Spider-Man 2.
Hell yeah, it's Spider-Man 2, dog.
Pizza time. Maybe we should say Pizza Place. We should have started this with Pizza Place because it's more on the nose for the podcast this week.
that might have been the right move. Yeah.
Hindsight.
Hindsight. But 2004, that's when this came out. Man, and that was a long that was almost 20 years ago. So it's been a time for sure. And as we talk about this movie, I'm sure that's gonna come up a lot. But yeah, this sort of started the franchise, directed by Sanjay Gadvi. Cast is look, speaking of Abhishi, I wonder if this is Abhishek Bachchan. I hope I got that right.
I think that's right.
He plays the now famous Jay Dixit. By the way, that The amazing thing about this whole franchise, out of everything that happened that's unbelievable, the most unbelievable thing is not a freaking actor broke whenever he said J dick shit. That is amazing. That is one of the funniest, most epic last names ever. And then, of course, it's incredible. And then, of course, you have Uday Chopra, who plays Ali. These two are become basically the goat.
The goat. I think you know how I'm going to feel about Ali.
Yeah.
The goat.
But essentially, it's a buddy cop action movie where these two go against a biker gang who are thieves, and they're stealing. That's all you really need to know. They're stealing. They're doing bad stuff, and these two gotta take them down. That's really what the skeleton for the entire franchise is. This movie and the entire franchise, and we'll see how it really evolves down the line. But first, let's start with Doom 1 and our review of Doom. Just Doom. Alex.
Yes.
If you would please do the honors.
Doom. Yeah. No, I really liked Doom 1. I'm not going to go out and go crazy and say it's the best action film I've ever seen. But when you put yourself into the mindset of 2004, when you put yourself into the mindset of Bollywood, I think this film is everything great about Bollywood and probably that time of 2004. It's like, I think I wrote down at one point, it's so 2004, it hurts. But like, I couldn't tell if it was intentionally hilarious, but there are moments I was like, dying of laughter as if we were watching a comedy. I was laughing so hard at some point. He slaps a guy so hard. I think he slaps Ali. He literally makes his ear bleed. Like, that's funny.
Yeah, I remember that moment.
Yeah, I don't know if I...
Bro, if I were to rewind that back, I think it was the wrong ear. Like,
it was the wrong ear.
Yeah, it was the wrong ear.
There are so many inconsistent edits in this. It's insane. There are like so many things. There's one point where there's a dance scene that started in the rain, and it's Ali, and he's talking to the girl he likes. I can't remember her name, but she's part of the biker gang. Spoiler alert. Everyone see this movie. And dude, Jai is literally sitting
Jay
on the right side. And then in the next scene, he's sitting on the left side of the car, and it's a different car. It's a different SUV. There are so many continuity errors.
There's so many really moments funny. Like that. Yes, 100%.
But overall, I really did enjoy the film. I had a lot of fun with it, and to be honest, I wrote down there was some really like simple tropes about the film, and like actually really effective stunts. Like a lot of the stunts they pulled off with the cars were a lot of practicality in those. It didn't go over the top too much, and I was like, wow, that actually looks pretty good. They're actually flipping a car here. That's really cool. So I did enjoy this film. Again, I'm not gonna go on my limb. It's not my favorite Doom, I will say that.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I did enjoy it, and I did have a lot of fun with it. What about you?
Okay, so that's I think overall I pretty much agree with everything you said. It is definitely a product of its time. That needs to be stamped on the DVD whenever anybody comes to this. It's like go if you go back to 2004 and there's like a huge yellow stripe thing that says that, because that's really where this is from. It's definitely, I'll say it's a product of its time. You have to go in that mindset. That being said, I don't really love bad movies because they're good.
Like you're not one of those. It's so bad it's good.
I'm not. I don't typically like. It's not my thing. I will say, the movie's charming, but I think it's absolute trash, and I did not like it. I would not watch this again. No. But
this was your least favorite.
But to the points that you made, like you liked it because it was bad, and you can like it for those reasons. But I don't. I don't. I can't. I think it's just. I don't know if my mind is just sort of just used to better.
I mean, we're coming off. But coming off Jailer. We're coming off.
But not even. But I even just think it's like, look. For me, it's story, and even the story, it's just not enough for me here of any quality of any sort to keep me. I don't think, but again, it's charming. Like this was, it looks like someone made this in college, and it's fun, and they're figuring it out. You know, they're trying to figure out the directorial style. Not everything works out, and that's fine. But I don't find it quote unquote enjoyable. I would not watch it again. The big problem with me, where I felt like it could have had me on, is if they got if they made the characters at least believable and less annoying. I don't like. You might like Ali. If you thought Ali was great, I didn't like Ali. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. I'm just. I get it. Look, I get it. It's just not for me. Like I was annoyed the whole time. I didn't find him that funny. I thought a lot of the jokes were very forced. I don't know. That's the thing. Maybe I'm just out of the time. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to like on anyone's parade, but it's not for me. And it's easily not my favorite Doom. It's definitely the worst Doom. And as a foreshadowing, I think the franchise gets so much better as it gets along. So I'll say that.
The franchise gets better and better as it goes.
I 100% agree with that. But
just as you know, as I think more money and more time and more effort and more thought was put into the films. But for you, like again, like I can see your point where you're saying, oh, the movie is executionally bad, because I think it is executionally bad.
It is. But there's no argument for that.
You can't say that it's not a charming film, which I think is
I said the biggest thing about it is that it is definitely charming, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
But
that's
it's
the
not
point
a good
you can
time.
Get across.
So is like a 5-year-old know-it-all girl at a party, but I don't want to go back to that.
Well, I don't find that charming at all.
That's how I found it eventually, because first of all, I don't attach to any of the characters. I think they're all kind of annoying, and it's just to me, the whole experience was just abrasive, and it's supposed to be in a sense, but it was just too much for me. There was not enough. There was nothing of quality except I will say, I really like the action sequences for the fact that this was made on like a penny budget. The practicality of some of them, fantastic. I love that. I think they did a good job filming the scenes with them on the bikes in that straightaway, and a lot of it is done for them more or less practically. I give all the props to that. I think that's fantastic. I love that. But I think for me, the one thing that just won't keep me coming back to that is the characters and how they're set up. I'll start with Jay really quick. Jay Dixit, by the way.
Are you sure
that character? I don't know what the was happening with that character. I don't understand like who he is. He's just this. He's clearly trying to be what's his face from Fast and the Furious. They're trying to make him like a what do you call it? A mundane, normal person. Like freaking what's his face? Paul Walker. You know, the way he he wears a hoodie to work. He's ACP and he wears a hoodie. Like he's just sort of like I feel like they're trying to make him the cool guy that wasn't like really a cop, but he looks, you know what I mean? He doesn't look like he's trying to be a pretty boy cop. But then he wears these the most ridiculous glasses I've ever. I'm like, why are you wearing that? What is that on your face? Like,
why do the glasses bug you? I don't get it.
They're ridiculous. They're so ridiculous.
Glasses.
They're ridiculous. No, but they're clearly made to be like, oh, it's in between nerdy sunglasses, like regular glasses, and like, oh, this is what a biker person would wear. Like they're kind of just a little cool, but then they end up looking like he's about to work on construction. It just looks really. I didn't get it. I was like, is he the hero? Is he I don't understand his character, and I was like, okay. And then you have Ali. I get it. We know what his character is about. I get it, but Jesus Christ,
I loved him.
I understand it. He gets better with the franchise, but the first round,
does.
Holy! I was just like, this is painful. I'm not having a good time. I'm just not like. Please get off the screen. Please get off the screen. I could not deal with it. Just couldn't deal with it.
I will agree with you. I do think it was at times in this movie in particular. There's moments where it's too much. Like it's too much Ali and Jay. Too much Ali and Jay and the back and forth and stuff, and like it can bog the movie down.
It's like trying a little too hard too. I think.
Yeah, I do agree with that. That was one of my critiques. Yeah, that we can. I guess we'll start with the critiques. Too many critiques?
I have plenty. So I'm not going to try. Don't worry. I'm going to quell myself. Okay. I'm not angry at this movie. Yeah, I just didn't like it.
I get it. You like you said, it's a charming film, which a lot of our fans have said the Doom franchise is charming.
Yeah. But you take the positivity, I'll take the negativity, and I'll quell it down. Go for it. But what were some of your...
Again, one of my critiques, I do think there are moments where it is a little much, where the jokes get too heavy-handed and they don't work as well, where Ali's too much of a jokester and it doesn't work as well. But, I do think that there are enough of the, I think, actions pieces that look pretty good, like we said, where it works out for me. It's
probably the saving grace for me, yes. Is that the saving they did grace a lot of that practically is pretty it's great.
I mean, some of it looks really
let's talk about that, because I can talk about how positive my experience with that is. So what was
go ahead.
I think the practicality, that is where I found the movie's filmmaking, at least that harkens back to someone who it has a shoestring budget, but was but we need to film these as real as possible. And even in the edit, if it comes off as a little a little lame,
wonky.
Wonky. There's a lot of charm there, and I liked that part. I really liked, and I thought was really cool. And again, what was even the most ridiculous stunt, which was that made me laugh, is when John Abrams, who we'll talk about, he takes his helmet, he tosses it casually over his shoulder when someone's chasing him, and it causes the truck to just catapult over. And I was just like, okay, that's really fun.
But the catapult looks so good.
No, it looks great. It looks
they flip the great. They flip the truck.
They flip a truck. That's in no way how physics works. Yeah, and it's fine. I get it. But yes, what were some other moments for you like that?
Pretty much all the chase scenes I liked. I enjoyed. I thought they were well done, well shot. You get enough of the characters on the motorcycles where it looks like they're on the motorcycles. That you trick the camera from when it's the stuntman versus the characters. I think I really liked all those moments. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure it's just all the chase scenes, all the stuff with the cars, all solid, really, really great.
My two pros were that the first chase scene really was not bad. I liked that first chase scene. And then the boat stunt at the end I thought was really good. All that stuff is fun. When it launches across the freaking front of the truck, that's really impressive. I was like, whoa, that's pretty good.
It's super good. Yeah,
that is a very impressive stunt, and I liked it a lot. Yes. Those were the saving. If anything had to save me from this movie, it was definitely those moments. Yes.
Yeah, that scene was great.
But what else did you like? What did you like about?
I enjoyed the musical numbers in this one. Not as much as definitely not as much as Rocky or even Jailer or any of the other YRJ films. By the way, this Doom was the first YRF films. First action film they produced in over 16 years. It had been 16 years since YRF produced.
Before this?
Yeah. 16 years. They waited 16 more before producing Doom.
Wow. So this is their first little hurrah back from that hiatus. Wow. Yeah. Again, I think it's a lot of the film clearly isn't meant to age with time.
No,
it's meant to be very much in like a locked capsule in time.
Catapult, yeah.
I think you definitely had to be there. You had to kind of grow with the times. And I'm not again. In 2004 in India. Look, I was 14. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know anything outside of Hollywood existed. So there's a lot to this movie in the history. But as someone who watched it in 2023, which I cannot take my mind out of, obviously. Yeah, for me, it's just obviously not an amazing watch, but I definitely can see the charm. I would never blame anyone for liking this movie. I definitely do not blame. There's so much, there's just so much to pick out and just be and laugh at.
That was fun. And it's fun.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
in the right mindset,
I don't watch The Room every month. You know what I'm saying? Not The Room. The Room, okay. Not Room. The Room. I don't do that.
To your point, that's one of those movies I watch and I'm like, this isn't good bad. This is just bad.
Right.
Bad.
Well, this is what I think about this movie as well.
Right, right. But I think this movie is class over that.
Yeah. I mean, this has much. Yes, 100. Yes, but still,
at least there's competent people behind the camera doing this one.
But it's still bad. Like it's still a bad, and it's fine,
bro. The budget for this was 1.3 million.
Yeah, pennies.
That is crazy that they pulled off a lot of the stuff they did.
$1 million. I mean, that's just what the you do. Is that craft services on a Marvel movie? You know what I'm saying? Like
not even
that's
probably
half of,
that's
like
Chris Evans' diet.
No, like I said, based on the budget, it's a good effort. It's a good effort, but it's nowhere near a good movie. But that's fine. And as you can see, it sets up a lot though for the franchise of like what people come to expect. It sets this great skeleton of like I will say as the franchise goes along, I found the moments like Ali where he's always he's like a horny bastard. So great. And he's always just thinking about getting a girl. And it cuts to those moments where he finds someone and he's like daydreaming about him having kids with them, and it multiplies. Running joke
goes throughout. Yeah,
it's a running joke that goes. And I found that like that stuff like that was cute for the character, even though I don't like the character. When he first did it
with has that first daydream with Jay's wife, I was laughing so hard because I was like, that's pretty funny, actually.
That part works. Yeah, that part is cute.
Yeah, like those parts work a lot.
Yeah, because it plays to the character, you know, and that's different. No, most action movies would not do that, and that's really cute, you know.
But yeah, no, I like some of the songs. It's not these songs didn't stick with me as much as a movie we're going to talk about coming out.
Yeah,
but the song sequences were great. They move all these people can dance and they're so talented. So it's so fun to watch that on screen all the time. I liked the runtime, 2 hours.
Yeah, very nice, one of the shortest movies. Yeah,
we've ever seen.
2 hours. Yeah.
My dog's barking. Sorry about that.
Thank goodness this was at least shorter and it didn't feel too long. It didn't feel too long to me. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a.
What else you got?
Other than that, I just wrote down like moments I thought were funny. I think, just like, when they're staking out the bank, and like I wrote down to think that these criminals aren't going to notice all these cops sitting there with all their headpieces coming out.
Yes,
like you're going to know which ones are the cops
exactly
because they all have the same. That part just made me laugh and smile, and I'm just like, that's funny.
No, I mean, look,
funny.
There's so much to the script where you just go, what the I mean, there's just no care was taken, and again, I get it. It's part of the charm,
there's a fantastic shot when they're on the beach looking back at the hotel that they're gonna rob, like Ocean's 11, and like all the guys are like standing. Like just just there in a lot, with their chest puffed out. Yeah, there's a security. In real life, there's someone in security going, "What the fuck are these guys doing? Yeah, why are these guys looking
at us? Are they gonna rob us? Hey, I think they're gonna rob us. Hey, Dan, we gotta stand up. Look at these guys.
The way Ali stands makes me laugh.
Yeah,
he's flexing so hard. That was funny.
These guys are scheming.
This is hilarious.
We gotta do something.
This is funny.
Speaking of that, one of the funniest moments it's just a complete plot hole, a plot hole cover, is when they're talking about the casino, right? And they're gonna rob it, and then because there's just no budget to deal with cameras, the script conveniently says that they don't have security cameras in the vault because they're so confident. Like that was just that's how they explained it off. Oh, the casino was just so confident they don't have cameers. It's just like, what? That's ridiculous. There's no way that would ever happen in the history of security.
Yeah, and later we get the scene where all the cameras are on them and you're watching them to rob the bank. So yeah, of course it was like
there's just shit like stuff like that I can laugh at and be like, okay, that's that's enjoyable. Like that's pretty funny.
Don't get me wrong. I agree with you. The movie is not good.
No,
but I did find it more enjoyable than not. Like I could, I have a lot of agreements with you. Like I was like, okay, well this is.
But you found the good side to it.
At times, Jay is too much at 2 times. Ali, even though I love his character, and I think I love his character because in the second and third, I like him more and more.
They get better, but see, that's a whole thing about like direction and using them in the right ways versus here where it's like, oh, we need to resort to another scene with them.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just make it funny. You know what I mean? So it's like
this
that
one
kind
was
of
like,
care where it's like, ugh.
What's it called? Oh, this one was very much, let's throw spaghetti at the wall, see if it sticks.
Yes.
And then we'll adjust going forward. We'll learn how to actually cook spaghetti in the second.
Exactly. Like, let's just figure this out. Let's just figure it out in this first one, and let's pray to God that it makes money. And it goes to the sensibilities of the time. And again, I'm completely aware of the fact that this obviously, I'm sure, was to the sensibilities of action films, what expectations, particularly of Hindi movies at the time. I'm not blind to that. In fact, I don't know what the Filmfare Awards are, but if you look up on Wikipedia, this movie was nominated, for best film, best villain, best music director, and it won for editing and sound design. So in some, in some places, the people appreciate this movie for what it is and what it had and whatever. And
keep in mind, like, maybe the audience can tell us our other action movies of this time of 2004. Like, keep in mind, guys,
I'm sure
we've seen, like, at this point, we've seen Jailer, the YRF spy universe.
Yeah.
Like, were action movies in 2004 a lot like this? And if so, would you recommend to watch them or skip them?
And that's a great question. That's a great question. And you know what? In on the other side of that coin, when you look at the 2004 movies that came out for us in America, I mean, you got The Punisher, National Treasure, Spider-Man 2, Hellboy. I mean, we're Hollywood, and so we got spoiled to the brim in 2004. I'll challenge anyone to watch this movie. Do you remember the movie Torque?
Yes,
yeah, that came out in 2004.
It was the motorcycle Fast and Furious.
Yes, and then I'm sure I want to go back and watch this movie and see because I'm sure this movie was. It has a 22% Rotten Tomatoes. This was I'm sure a trash movie.
There is a very strong conspiracy out there about Torque that says that movie was doomed from the beginning.
Why?
Because the producers of Fast and the Furious tanked it.
Oh, that sounds about right.
They got, people to make the movie bad and all this stuff. So, like, this is a massive conspiracy about Torque.
Well, maybe, but it also seems like it's a bad movie. Just in comparison to Fast and Furious, let's be honest, it doesn't look great.
I've seen it.
Okay.
It's not great.
I might even challenge anybody who's probably going to hate me for my review of this movie. Go watch Torque and tell us about how you feel about that movie what that's like. I'm going to rewatch Torque and see what's going on with Hollywood and bike movies in 2004.
Here's a question for you. Would you rather watch Blade Trinity or this? Because that came out in 2004.
I would rather watch, I want to make sure, I want to make it clear. I think that movie's trash too. I'd rather watch this. The problem with Blade Trinity is that it takes itself very seriously and it's trash. This movie knows, I don't know if it knew it was wanting to be trash, but it clearly knows it's not trying to be good. Yes. So I'm not going to take points off for that. So, I'd rather watch this, but I'd rather not watch either of them. I want to make that very clear. I would rather not watch either of them. But let's move on to something that I think I know we are going to agree on at least, and that is our boy, John Abrams as the villain, who I thought as a villain was great. And it was nice to see him. God, it's weird to think that this is 20 years ago.
Yeah, and, he's so young.
He's so young. He looks a little weird. It's like almost Uncanny Valley. He
does look a little weird.
You know what I mean?
He looks like he hasn't reached his full super villain heights yet. He hasn't reached his
final form.
Yeah,
he hasn't reached final form.
Nice beard. Yeah,
he's Cell level 2, Dragon Ball Z. But he's great. He's great. I think in terms of performances, he was the most unbelievable. Almost every other performance in this movie, I don't believe. Not even close. I don't believe anyone's who they are. And whatever, okay. But John Abrams shows up and he's this stoic, just aced-faced guy, and he's just no nonsense. He's like, we're gonna do this, and that's how it's gonna be. And he has that look that's the mixture between Blue Steel, but also kind of humble, cute guy. He works at a pizzeria. By the way, that guy would not be working a pizzeria. And so I thought he was great. What did you think?
I thought he was great too. My only complaints is that we didn't get enough of him. I would want more.
Yeah.
Of,
well,
like,
they don't give him enough to work with, really, either.
Right.
It's not really like his movie, you know?
If you take that time that you gave that, like we said, the overindulgence of Jay and Ali, if you take just a little bit away from that and give it to John Abrams, I think the movie is actually a lot better and a lot more enjoyable. But yeah, it is. He's very, very cool. And then another thing I liked about the villain is, and I think they do this in all three of them, which makes Jay a nice kind of character.
Yeah.
There's like a mutual respect between them by the end of the film. And it's like, we could have been friends, which is a nice line.
Yes,
like that's like a deep thing you wouldn't expect in this movie.
Right.
But yeah, I did.
He has some sympathy. He has empathy
Abrams.
for the people he's trying to catch, which is excuse me, which is always odd in general for Jay, because in the beginning of the movie, he always seems like he's going to put their ass on a skewer, like he's ready to kill their families, and then just sometime in the middle, he's like, oh, okay, I kind of get him. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. We get it.
Yeah.
But and in this movie, it's a bit of a stark contrast. In the later movies, they do a better job in the script and iron that out. But in this movie, he's just like, wait, what? You like kind of respect him now? And that's okay, I guess. Okay, fine. It makes me like Jay more for sure. But here, okay, just to talk about Jay again really quickly. One of the things that I think that any film, if you're going to get an audience on board, you obviously need to make them like the protagonist. And one of the reasons why I don't love Jay as a protagonist is because, again, he's just not. I didn't get, when you look at the other male macho guys in the action movies, you immediately get who they are, and you're meant to attach to them right away. In Doom, you just don't understand. Is this guy good? Are you supposed to like him? Is he a nerd, or is he an actual action star? I don't get it. He dresses up like he's going to Gap. But he's like smacking people in the face, sending them across the room.
What's wrong with shopping at the Gap, Ed?
Look, 2004 was fine. Today,
just kidding.
We didn't mean to talk, but but like, you know what I mean? Like, his characters I didn't get it, and it's just like, okay, he's my guy. He's supposed to be my guy, and I didn't get it. It gets again in the other movies, it makes much more sense, but in this first one, it's rough. And I just don't understand why I'm supposed to care for this guy. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of my biggest gripes. If you were gonna have me on board, at least let me like the protagonist, or let me understand him to some level. I just didn't get him. It didn't make sense to me. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because that is actually something that's kind of a point I have going forward in the franchise.
Oh, okay.
But I'll save that for Doom 2 and Doom 3, because it is a critique. But yes, I don't think they have a clear idea of who they want Jay to be. Like, again,
maybe that's right.
And that's the biggest issue I had with Jay.
Yeah,
I think he don't like you want, like you said, you want to put their head on a freaking stake, for Christ's sake, at most of the freaking movie, and then you say something like, too bad we could have been friends, and it's like, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
It doesn't almost line up, right? Like,
no, it doesn't
his
fit.
philosophy,
the guy we've learned,
his philosophy as a cop is murky, or like as a hero. I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's just confusing. I didn't really know I wasn't really sure if I was on board with him or not. That's a perfect example. Yeah, he just he flips on a dime sometimes. He's just like, he's hardened guy. And then sometimes he's kind of like funny, and he's trying to be cool, or whatever. He's loose. I'm like,
which is why I like Ali so much more, because it's like,
definitely a good balance. Obviously,
this guy just wants a woman, and to be married. All he cares. That's it. Yeah, and he just wants his mom.
Is literally the same character.
Yeah, he doesn't change it
for 10 years,
which is perfect. It's perfect. That's what you want.
It's fine. I have no issue with that.
You want him to be that.
I will say. Again, it gets better throughout the franchise, but if for me to like Ali more, I just wish they made him competent in something. You know what I mean? Like, he's so incompetent in everything, where I'm like, but what? Well, why would the cops want you to be a cop? It makes zero sense.
That's a critique I have as we get further as well.
Yeah, exactly.
For this movie, I was fine with it.
But you're right. Like, I think this movie was just like, let's just see what we have first. Like, we really don't know who these characters are. It was more like, we need to check boxes of like, we need to make this entertaining, and let's just keep pushing on that front. And as long as it's like entertaining, then we're cool. We don't really have to spend too much money on anything else, and we'll just see. It's a first outing. And that works out. You know what? Clearly, it works out. It spawned this franchise that was huge. By the way, I mean, the movie itself, though, I'm surprised. I mean, it was the third highest grossing Indian film in 2004, which is, is crazy. A lot of the critics praised it for things I didn't love: performances, action sequences, the soundtrack. Like, so, again, it's pretty clear this was a product of its time, of a time that we're not a part of.
Product of its time. There's been so many people that, especially on the Rocky review, that have said Bollywood in the late, I don't know when it happened, but they transitioned out of this format of film that is a very clear Bollywood film. It's goofy, it's over the top, to a more serious Hollywood film where it was more realistic. And maybe that's why I received so many good reviews, because it's what people knew and it's what people wanted from their action films at that time.
They were serving the audience that was already there, and that's what they expected. That's why I worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a perspective thing. You're right. Yeah, 100%.
We besides Jay, everybody else's performance, I think, is pretty clear and pretty consistent throughout the film, and it works. As silly as it gets with Ali, and even though John Abrams doesn't get much, he's still good.
But he plays it. He plays it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, again.
I will say I want to give shout outs to the wife. I thought she was lovely. I think she plays her part too.
Hilarious. She's so funny. Yeah. I really liked her as well.
Yeah, she's loose and I like her. She her relationship with Jay was pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many funny, silly tropes that are just hilarious. Like at one point, one of the guys says his name is Austin Powers. That's funny.
Oh yeah, I caught that. Yeah. You're right. They say Austin. Yeah. Wait, was that in this one?
Yeah, that's this one.
Was it this one? Okay, I wasn't sure. Was this one or the second
that's
one?
Trying to hack the computers for the vault.
Oh yeah. You're right. Okay, that
yeah.
He introduces himself.
How dumb the cops are to the cop's face that he doesn't know is a cop. That's such a big funny trope that I think always kind of works.
Yeah.
He at one point he gives his wife his wallet. That's the most relatable thing I've ever seen.
100%. Yes.
Isn't it?
Oh, isn't it? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
the stare, and you just
the stare, and it's just
here's the credit card.
Here you go. Yeah, here's the wallet, because you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah. I think those are great. So yeah,
there's parts to this movie that are charming for sure. I think if anything, again, there's just some balancing issues across the board that
definitely,
that could have made it a better experience overall. But I get it.
A little better with the continuity would be great.
I will say this:
maybe have the same car in the rain sequence as when he gets out of the car. Maybe have Jay in the right seat. Maybe make sure when he slaps the ear, he doesn't bleed out of his correct ear.
Oh
man, that was funny.
I laughed my ass off. I was like, "That's the wrong ear."
Wait a minute. Clean up the continuity.
And as the more that we talk about this film, the more I'm having a good time talking about the film versus watching the film.
It. Yeah.
And so in parts, I would watch this again just to have for the sake of the talk. And I will say this just to sort of round this off.
Sure.
I think I 100% think this movie was worth it considering what we're going to talk about next. So
absolutely.
That's what I will say. I don't wish Dhoom never existed.
No.
I'm happy to. I have hindsight bias, but I'm glad the movie exists because of how it's going to evolve with my thoughts on the franchise as a whole. So that's what I'll say. But I'm. You asked me to sit down and watch this again, I'm gonna be out. But that's my take. I definitely think it's not. It's a trash movie, but I don't know. I guess it's meant to be trash, but I don't like watching trash movies for the sake of trash movies. So it's a personal thing. That's me. And I'm using a harsh word.
One of your favorite movies was Dark Phoenix. So,
you want to talk about filmmaking? The filmmaking in that movie is so much better than
below.
There's a lot to like.
My favorite movie from a couple years ago was Dark Phoenix.
That is not my favorite movie. I said I like the movie.
Phoenix. That was his favorite movie from a few years back. He loves it. He will defend it. Go get him. I like
the movie. Okay, it's not the best movie of the year. It's definitely on the lower ranks, but I like it for sure.
It's okay. As summer season wraps up, I'm not gonna lie. One of the best times I had in the theater this summer in a non-Hindi film, or any Indian film, actually, for that matter,
Barbie.
No, it was Fast X. It was one of the better times I had in a movie theater.
Sure.
Unbelievably. After this year of like The Flash, I just left scratching my head. Like, what did I just watch?
I would rather watch Doom than any of the last 3 Fast and Furious movies. I'll say that. How about that? You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, there's worse bad movies than this.
3 or 4, definitely.
There's definitely worse bad movies to talk about. There's movies that you just don't even care to give the light of day to, and this one I would at least like. I like that I met it. I like that I met it, and we'll see if we we meet again by chance down the road. But overall, lovely first meeting.
Lovely first meeting. All right, was that all?
We'll
that all we got?
I think so. And is there anything else? Okay. Yeah, I'm holding myself.
No, I got most of my notes out. So.
But I think that's enough to say about this first outing for Doom. We got the next 2 coming up. Stay tuned to see our thoughts, because look, again, a little foreshadowing for me. You're gonna want to stay on board with me throughout the rest, because overall, I think the trajectory of the franchise for me only goes up. But there's also interesting talk to have about that as well with Doom at the last Doom. So we'll get to that in the future.
I think there is very interesting talk.
There is. Just in general, I think it's gonna be about, like, just sort of subjective taste in cinema, and that's fine. It's gonna be interesting talk. So, anyways, guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us today on Doom 1. And we are going to say, like, subscribe, hit the bell, guys. By the way, we didn't even talk about this.
We talked about it in the Jailer review.
We did. But again, thank you guys. We reached 1K. We're making 4 cents. Love it. And we'll hopefully we'll catapult that in the future with your guys' help. And we'll get
make enough. We'll come visit you guys. We'll do a pizza time from.
Oh, that's happening. 100%.
India.
Yes. And tell us your best pizza places in India.
Yeah, actually, is Pizza Place the best pizza place in India?
Pizza Place. That is the best thing. Oh my God. They all look like they work at Target, which is funny. All right, guys. Bye.